Okay, it's time now. Live by design, not by default. Welcome to Inspirational Moments with me, Billy. This is our second Facebook Live video in this series. So please like, share, participate, comment. Let me know what questions you have as we go, and tell me what future topics you like, and I'll be delighted to. All right, our topic today is what lights your fire. Straightforward answer is just one word: values. Okay, values is an NLP term. It refers to neuro-linguistic programming. Values is a term that refers to the inner driving forces that operate at a deep unconscious level within us. All right, and of course, this topic we also have a selected quote for the day. When we allow our outcome to be determined by external conditions, we have neglected the power of our internal decisions. All right. So, what lights our fire? Basically, are all that operate inside. Right? NLP call them values. To that is you that makes you form certain behavior, create a sense of motivation, a sense of you, give you meaning to take action, and give us the juice to pursue the outcome we desire. Right? Hello, Sean. Okay, so what it means effectively is this, yeah, because we talked about hope and we talked about goal setting last week. Now, I hope by now you have your initial goal statement written down. Like to hear from already have your goals written down. Already written down? Type a one, put a thumbs up or something if you're already written down. Okay. Okay, so first step, you got to have your goal written down, right? Have written down the goal, then we can check the goal that you want. Is it a goal that you really want, but may not be unconsciously also desired? All right, so this is where values come in. Hi, Australia. Ah, yeah. I hope you guys are keeping safe there. All right, so as I was saying, so values is a topic that we usually teach at the master practitioner level for NLP certification training. Okay, remember, you set your goals. The goals have to follow certain guidelines, rules. All right, and you have to have it written down, because if you don't write it down, then we will forget. Okay, so if you have written down your goal, now we can discuss goals that you want consciously. Are they also goals that you want unconsciously? Because remember, your conscious mind is the goal setter. Conscious mind is the goal getter. All right, and that's the reason why we decided to do. Understanding and knowing values allow us to take better control of our lives and allow us to make better decisions. So think about it this way. Essentially, you have two minds, right? Is one that is thinking about it, is the one that's aware of your situation, sets a goal, right? But this goal have to be aligned with what the unconscious mind wants, right? So this is where we are at today, to try and find out more about what your unconscious mind wants, because your values. You are born before you're born, because we've been told that babies actually learn even before they were born. All right, so you may have accumulated these values at level, and then they start to operate within you. All right, when it operates, when you don't know what are the values that operates within you, then what happens is that you may be taking on a job, embarking on a career that is not truly what you want. All right, or that you may be making certain decisions to do certain things and not really what you want. So effectively, understanding and discovering values is what you truly inside. Compare it with what you want outside you said. They are aligned with each other. Because when they are aligned, then you are effectively sailing according to the wind. Right? Otherwise, you may find that with the job you're in, you did something, you did the job. There's some aspects of the job that you like, and then there's some aspects that you don't like, and you don't know why you don't like that, or that you excel in certain parts, but parts. So maybe having a of the dislike, I'm not so happy doing this part. When it start to overwhelm you, what they do is they will change job. Okay, but then you change job, and then they go to, you still find out things that you like, and you still find things that maybe some things that you like. All right, and so the process goes on. Okay, so doing values allow us to effectively tap on the unconscious mind, so that we can then make a better decisions. All right, so whether is it for career, for finance, for your health, or it can be very areas in your life. All right, so discovering values are important because that's when your unconscious mind start taking action, and then making the moment to moment choices and decisions, and that make things happen for you. Okay, so in values, the word values again is internal driving force. Now, in understanding your values, what you need to do is get a piece of paper. All right, and then first of all, decide out of the so many areas, so many aspects of our life, what was your goal written? The goal that which category does it fall into? Is it in a broad category of career, like if it's job, if it's money related, it's probably career. If your goal was to lose weight, then that will probably be related to health or life under the broad category. Or it can be in relationships, or it can be just life in general. Okay, so most time we work on career and life. These are the two main ones. All right. So if your goal is pertaining to something regards to jobs and money, then it will be under the category of, if it's anything else, we can just classify it as life. Okay. So if during in our classes, what we do is here. What we do is we use a deck of cards that we have created. This deck of cards is called the station cards. Now, you don't have the cards with you. If you have, you can make use of it. If you don't have the deck of cards with you, what you can do is get yourself a piece of paper. Once you have the piece of paper, answer my question. What's important to you in your career? If it's for career. If it's for life, then the question will be, what's important to you in life? Just write as many things as possible. Oh, nice, good share. Goal is to empower 1,000 lives this year. Wonderful. Coming from Kit, NLP Master Trainer. All right. So what's important to your career, or what's important to you? All right. Write down as many items as possible. No right or wrong answers. Every one of us. What's important now is to elicit, is to take out all the values, is to bring it from your unconscious to your conscious awareness. All right, now with this deck of cards, the values elicitation cards, you can see that every card, we have something that represents a value. All right, so if you are using the card, or if you are now seeing something that kind of go like, hey, that's what I want, then write it down. All right, you basically pick out what you deem to be important in the area of career or in the area of life. All right, and I'll encourage that you write down 15. I'd like to see what is like. This is about developing and inspiring others, fulfill purpose, teamwork. Okay, some people like would prefer relationships, right? And of course, it's work, money, and I think in life as well, money, right? And, worldwide now are actually being by creating finance, budgeting, and all of that to help people during this period. Networking, so it can be anything. All right, no right or wrong answers. Just write as many as possible. So that's the first step. We call this values elicitation. All right, and that means to draw out all the values that is important. So that's the first step. Now, once that is done, the next step, you got to go through all the words or the word that you have written, and then prioritize them, reorganizing them into a hierarchy. By reorganizing, it means number next to the words that is deemed to be important. For example, meeting people is your number one most important thing in regards to your career, then you put number one right beside it. Okay, so basically you're going to be ranking all your values, right? is called hierarchy of values. So first we elicit all the values, we take out all the values, and then we will assign rank values. Only be one number one, and number one would mean that is the most important out of the entire list. All right, so you need to write at least 15 to 20, and then because I think most of you joining me here are adults, and if we go on a simple reasoning, if you learn one value a year, by now we would have easily have like 20 values, 30 values, 40 values, maybe even 50 values, right? So it operates all inside us. Okay, now, so understanding and knowing your values is one, right? Prioritizing the values is the other. Reason being that if you do not prioritize your values, then imagine you have all 15, 20 inside you, you will operate and you will work, you will do things, you will make based on what is important. All right, and when that happens means you can get very distracted and have values that can which I'll talk about later on. Okay, so first of all, have all the values out, right? And then put a ranking to the values. Once you have done that, you may want to reorganize them so that they are in a proper, in accordance to importance. All right, number one first, and then number 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Don't just pick out 5 or 10 as being most important. That's not the idea. You need to give it ranking. All right, because we are sorting it out, we are prioritizing the values. Okay. Are you doing it live with me? If you are, give me a comment or something. If not, then you're just going to be going through the process, and then later on you can again sit down and do it. Okay, so you've written them down, prioritize. After you've done that, rewrite this, okay? Ranking them from 1 to however many values. Okay, don't use values. If you in the first during the first step, doing the illustration, if you only come up with 8, 10, then I think you're not digging in deep enough. All right, you need to go into the unconscious and continue to ask what is important. What's important to me in my career? Okay, and then write it down. It may or may the things you write down may or may not have already is happening in your career. All right, but just write it down. Okay, after that, prioritize them. All right, once you prioritize them and you have ranked them from say 1 to 15, then the next step is you need to do a test. All right, purpose of the test is so that you know you're prioritizing it correctly. So you ask yourself this question, looking at ranked up. If in my career, provided you start off by eliciting for career, then if in my career I have this top 5, can I do without the rest? The test question you do is, if in my career I have this top 5, can I do without the rest? All right, if your answer is an absolute yes, then you know that you have gotten the values correctly. And chances are, you find that there's a lot of linkage of values. Example, number 1 would actually have 6, number 10, and number 11 at the same time. You know, all right. So okay. All right. So for some of you who are still doing it, let me take some questions in the. I want to reach the stage of self-actualization. I want to know what actually I am good at. Okay. How do you know? Then I'll have a question for you. How do you know when you're good? How do you know when you're doing something, you know, whatever it may be, excellently? How do you know? For instance, if I take my job, for instance, when I have 40% positive feedback from my participants at the end of a training session or at the end of a keynote session that I give, then that good job, right? And then compared to objectives I set for myself, and they're both aligned, all right? So I feel that I've done a good job. They say I've done a good job. Okay, that must be something good at. All right, so I will take the cue from both inside myself as well as outside myself, right? Take a hobby, for instance. I think some of you were asking me last week, what was this thing that this is my racing helmet. I do not ride a motorbike. I don't have license for a motorbike and I cannot ride a motorbike, right? But this is my racing helmet. So I go do racing in my car, prepare the car. So we do when I win, then I'm good at it, right? Like if my claim is everybody else's car, and then I'm always in the middle or I'm always last, then perhaps racing is not my thing. What you're really good at, you can get feedback externally as well as your internal evaluation. All right. Another thing, needed to answer your question. Ask yourself, what is it that you do that even on your worst day, you do it better than other people on their best day? What is it that you do that you do it better than others, even if it is your worst day and they are operating at their best day? Because then that might be talent. Let me know if I've answered your question and what questions you have. All right, so values are pretty straightforward process, right? It's the doing that requires some time, right? So, but ask yourself what's important to you in your career or in your life. Write down as many items as possible, and then do a ranking. If you have done the ranking, you do a test. All right, and if once you answer to your own test question, your answer is absolute yes, as in if I have the top 5, can I do without the rest? It's an absolute yes. Then okay, you got the priorities correct already on yours. Okay, then what you do next is with the top 5 values, the goal. So these are values. You compare goals that you set last week. All right, by achieving these goals, do you also fulfill these driving forces, these values? All right. Do these values support you in the achievement of the goal? Will these values be driving forces that will help you achieve the goal? Or do you find values here that actually are restraining forces rather than driving forces? Okay. Now, obviously, if your values and your goals are totally aligned, all right, then it's a goal. All right, you have both consciously set and also taps on the unconscious wants and desires through this values work. It's definitely a goal. For those of you who are already on the job, you have a career right now. Now you're doing this for career. You're doing your values for career. You have a mission. You have ranked it as, if I have this top 5, can I do with next? Right? And you find that, on this job, I don't get this, I don't get this, I don't get this. Then perhaps that's probably not the right job. All right. And for another career, then the next career you want to evaluate is to evaluate it against the values. Right. So the values are driving, they are supporting, they are helping. All right. That definitely means it's a goal. A question: how do I use values to help me at my purpose? Okay. So values are the things that operate inside us. All right. Understanding the values means, like I said, you use it to compare with your goals. Okay. So if the values are restraining forces as far as the goals are concerned, in that achieving the goals actually does not meet any of the value of your driving forces, then you may want to redesign a goal. All right, that is aligned with your values. Otherwise, you are consciously going to pursue this, but your unconscious is always going to lead you somewhere else. Yeah. All right. So once you have that, then you know you have priority. You know you have values. Okay. Like for instance, my top values would be hierarchy because I'm not doing it, and the reason is every time you do your value, so space it out. Every 6 months or 1 year, I will sit down and I'll recheck my values. Your values may change. Right. For instance, when I first came out to work, I think money was definitely number one. And then I guess after a while, when you are able to earn the income you want, money is still important though, but the priority may have dropped. The hierarchy may have dropped. Yeah. Okay, sorry, he decided to join us here by nibbling away at my. So I got to hello, this is Maui. Okay, Maui, go, don't disturb me. All right. So values gives you clarity in a sense that it tells you what is it you really, truly, truly want as far as career is concerned. And then once you have done one already for your career, uh, do do life. So you got career, you got what you really know, what drives you as far as career is concerned. Then that helps you make better decision as to what kind of career you want to pursue, or what area do you want to get into, get yourself prepared by earning the right credential and study for it, or gain the skills for it. Okay. um, all right, so that's one way to do it. Okay. Another way is you do one for life. Compare the two top five values of career and the top five values for life, and see whether there is any conflict on that, because sometimes you get your number one value in life. Number one means is the most that you want in life is in conflict with your number three value at work, for instance. All right, so you may find that uh, if if you have this kind of conflict, you may find that when you're working, you are actually thinking about, I should be home, I should be having more balance in my life. I'm working too hard. That kind of thinking and feeling kind of compromise the results of your work, right? Then and then if you go back home, you'll find that really rest properly, and cannot like focus, because at the back of your mind you're thinking about work. All right, that's when you have a conflict. Okay, now when conflict happens, or when values are organized in a way that when you elicit and test it and rank it and test it, it works against you. All right, then more advanced from NLP to do what we call a value shift. All right, meaning we can make changes deep inside the unconscious level. Like for instance, give you an example. If money is ranked number 14 for you, right, and I'm able to move money into becoming ranked number 2, for instance, would your life change? Would you change? Yeah, I think everything change. When values change, everything change. Yeah, and of course, values, they themselves will change depending on how much you have fulfilled the values, or you haven't. Yeah. Okay, I love your last line. Try to know what you do better than others, even on your worst day. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for asking. What is it that you do that even on your worst day, you do it to other people on their best day? Okay, lot of yeah. Okay, so where am I now? So first of all, write down all the values. You have to decide the area that you want to. Okay. If the goal is to lose weight, but then there is no value, health value, it doesn't make your life better. It doesn't make you work. Then is it necessary that this be you be setting? All right. So values are typically used. You don't know what you want to pursue, or two, you think you know what you want to do, but you're not quite sure. All right. So that's when values can come into. All right. Or three, there's some frustration here. There's some frustration there. I do this, I don't feel right. I do that, I don't feel right. Then perhaps it's time to use for both areas, and then identify if there are any potential conflicts. Right. So I look forward to questions that you may have. All right. And values are important because whatever happens on the inside will always reflect on the outside. Right. Understanding what goes on the inside help us make better decisions, take better actions on the outside. Okay, at this point, anyone with me see if I missed any questions. After my question, I got friends who told that who messaged me and say, hey, I say hello to you, but you never say hello to me. So I'm so sorry if I missed you. You can be scrolling very fast. Yeah. So self-actualization. Okay, what another thing I want to make you talk about in regards to this question. What is self-actualization to you? What is self-actualization to you? What is self-actualization to you? Then you can translate it into a goal statement. Then you start eliciting the values, ranking the values, testing the values, and then just logically analyze it. Does it make sense or not? My values says, I want this. Now I want to pursue this. Are they supporting each other? Are they aligned with each other? Yeah. So that will be the key for values work. Yeah. Next week we will take you through a framework with the LBD by design, which came from a quotation I wrote some years ago. Live by design, not by default. All right. So we call it LBD framework because it's going through how to live by design rather than by default. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. If there are no more questions, thank you for joining me today. I look forward to meeting you again. I'm new at this, so this is my only second live video. Time we do it, we look forward to getting feedback so that we can do it better. All right, so thank you for joining me today. I look forward to meeting you again. Please also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Billy Kueek. Follow, like, comment on all our pages on Facebook, Billy Kueek International, Instagram, LinkedIn. Also, we have a session up that's very special. What we're intending to do is we are calling for all NLP certified practitioners, master practitioners, trainers. And of course, if you are curious, haven't attended you are welcome to join us. What we want to do, of course, that has limitation. We're going to do it via a Zoom using where we are going to read all the NLPs that you have learned, right? Because very often when people come for the class, you use the techniques to benefit yourself, and then some of which you tend to use more of depending on your situations at work, the opportunities you have, right? Of course, those who completed the program and their certification and become full-time coaches, chances are you'll be using all the techniques over and over and over again. All right, but for most people, you perhaps not the opportunity to use them over and over again. So some of which maybe a little bit of refreshing will be good for you. So we're organizing a session like that. Let me see if I can get details. Review practitioner. Same page, Billy Kueek International page. All right. So look out for it and join. There is a limit on how many participants we can have. Oh yes, I got another question here. Not restricted to people who have taken one that has taken an NLP training, a certified practitioner, master practitioner, trainer, even master trainers. We welcome you. All right, you'll be hosted by myself, NLP master trainer, as well as a kid trainer and country directioner in Malaysia. Yeah. All right. So come join us again next week. I try to do this on more regular basis. At this moment, I'm also exploring how I can perhaps give you more visuals, all right, that can facilitate this for you. All right. Every session we are planning now builds on one after another. For example, you realize this topic is discussed again this week. All right. So if you have done the goal setting last week, then this week you are now pursuing a tool with regard to being able to live by design. All right. And then we will proceed from there. All right. So follow me week by week, and then in between, do a little bit of, since I guess you and I, we are going to be a lot, not home alone, home a lot. That'll be the next one to have. Okay, so with that, I want to say thank you for taking time to join and please comment, like, your feedback. Thank you. Bye bye, and please take care. Thank you.